Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Elmwood versus Evergreen. I think we better buckle up for a bodacious brain brawl. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Elmwood versus Evergreen. Let's meet our teams. For Elmwood, led by Coach Hopkins Fawcett. In slot number 1, we have Madeline, a freshman. In slot number 2, we have Chadrick, a sophomore. And in slot number 3, it is Gavin, the senior. Now for Evergreen, led by Coach Blanchong. In slot number 1, we have John, a senior. In slot number 2, we have Ethan, a senior. And rounding out the team at number 3, another senior, and it is Sophia. Welcome to all of our players and to you at home. We're gonna start things off as we always do on Brain Game. It is the toss-up round. All questions in this round are 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so you can play just a little bit looser and have some fun with your buzzers on this one. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Elmwood, Evergreen, you at home. Toss-up round starts right now. In computer science, what does HTML stand for? That would be Evergreen. Ethan?
Hypertext Markup Language.
Correct. Which treaty officially ended World War I? That would be Elmwood. Chadrick?
The Treaty of Versailles.
Correct. Who was the first person to circumnavigate the globe? That would be Evergreen. Ethan?
Magellan.
Magellan is correct, though he died before completing the journey. Who holds the record for the fastest 100-meter sprint? That would be Elmwood. Chadrick?
Usain Bolt.
Correct. Which element has the atomic number 6 and is the basis for organic compounds? That would be Elmwood. Gavin?
Carbon.
Carbon is correct. Multiple choice. Which Italian dish is traditionally made with arborio rice cooked slowly with broth until creamy? Is it A? That would be Elmwood. Madeline?
Risotto.
Risotto is correct. Didn't even need the multiple choice. Again, though, we have another multiple choice question. There are 8 main Hawaiian islands, but how many total islands make up Hawaii? Is it A, 102, B, 115, or 3, 137? That would be Elmwood. Gavin?
B.
Incorrect. Evergreen, chance to steal. That would be Ethan.
C.
C is correct, 137. In Minecraft, what is the rare mineral needed to craft an enchantment table? That would be Evergreen. John?
Diamond.
Incorrect. Elmwood, chance to steal. That would be Gavin.
Obsidian.
Obsidian is correct. Yes. Multiple choice question again. Which African country was formerly known as Abyssinia? Is it A, Somalia, B, Eritrea, or C, Ethiopia? That would be Evergreen. Ethan?
C.
Correct. Ethiopia. With what sport are the terms hoop, foul? That would be Elmwood. Chadrick?
Basketball.
Basketball is correct. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Currently is Evergreen 40, and in the lead with 60 is Elmwood. We're just getting started here, folks. Stick around. The risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Evergreen 40, Elmwood 60. Before we move on to our next round, let's welcome some new players to the game. For Elmwood in slot number 1, we have James, a senior. And for Evergreen in slot number 1 as well, we have Olivia, also a senior. This is our risk and reward round. There will be 3 categories to choose from. Evergreen, since you were at 40 points, you will get to make the first selection. Once you choose your category, you will own every single question in that category. First 9 or 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer. The 10th one is the risk and reward question. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on that topic. You get it right, you get the points. You get it wrong or a non-answer, you lose those points. However, we are fair here. If you don't like how the round's gone for you, you can pass on that question. Elmwood, the same thing will be true for you, except you will only get to choose between the remaining 2 categories. So, what are those categories in this game? Category number 1 is Shakespeare. Category number 2 is geometry. And category number 3 is health. So, Shakespeare, geometry, and health. Evergreen, what do you say?
I think we'll take Shakespeare.
They are going with Shakespeare. First one is a multiple choice question. Cruel eldest daughter who is married to the Duke of Albany in King Lear. Is it A, Goneril, B, Regan, or C, Cordelia? That would be Ethan.
Cordelia?
Incorrect. It's A, Goneril. Magician and daughter endure hardships but rule the island. Shakespeare. That would be Ethan.
Petruchio?
Incorrect. The Tempest is what we were looking for there. Rosalind and her family live in the Arden Forest. That would be Ethan.
Midsummer Night's Dream?
Incorrect. As You Like It. Prince thinks his wife and daughter dead, but then are reunited. Who is this prince? That would be Ethan.
Petruchio?
Incorrect. First letter's correct, though. Pericles is what we needed there. Multiple choice question. Unlike Caliban, Ariel has a warm relationship with this character in William Shakespeare's The Tempest. Identify this protagonist who sometimes uses his magic to control others. Is it A, Alonso, B, Ferdinand, or C, Prospero? That would be Ethan.
Prospero.
Prospero is indeed correct. Which Roman soldier and Egyptian queen married, engaged in a war, and later committed dual suicide? Their tragedy is brought to life in literature by William Shakespeare. That would be Ethan.
Mark Antony and Cleopatra?
Correct. In which William Shakespeare production are plans made for the Amazon queen Hippolyta to marry the Duke of Athens, while Oberon, the king of the fairies, engages Puck to drug his wife? That would be Ethan.
A Midsummer Night's Dream?
Correct. True or false? Gertrude is the Queen of Denmark in Shakespeare's Hamlet. That would be Ethan.
True.
That is indeed correct. General leader of the Greek forces is Troilus and Cressida. That would be Ethan.
Pompey?
Incorrect. Agamemnon is what we needed there. Risk and reward time. The topic is Shakespeare. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on Shakespeare, or you can pass.
We're going to risk 5 points.
5 points for Shakespeare. In William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, after Antonio defaults on his loan, what unusual request is made by the moneylender Shylock as a penalty? That would be Ethan.
He pays a tax?
In a manner of speaking, I don't think that's the correct answer, though. It would be a pound of flesh. A pound of flesh. Nasty business there indeed. All right, -5 points for you, Evergreen. Now we turn to Elmwood. The remaining 2 topics for you are geometry and health.
We're going to take geometry.
They have chosen geometry. This 5th century BC Greek philosopher contributed greatly to the field of geometry. The equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared is named for him. Who was he? That would be Chadrick.
Pythagoras.
Correct. Collective name for polygons with at least one angle greater than 180 degrees. A, convex polygons, B, concave polygons, or C, regular polygons. That will be Chadrick.
A, convex.
Incorrect. B, concave polygons. True or false? When referring to angles, this term indicated the point where two rays intersect is known as an arc. That would be Chadrick.
False.
False. It is a vertex. What do you call lines that intersect at right angles? That will be Gavin.
Perpendicular.
Correct. What is the area formula for a triangle? That would be James.
Base times height divided by 2.
Correct. What do you call a triangle with all sides of different lengths? That will be Chadrick.
Scalene.
Correct. Multiple choice question. What is the measure of each interior angle of a regular hexagon? Is it A, 120 degrees, B, 108 degrees, or C, 135 degrees? That will be Gavin.
108 degrees.
Incorrect. 120 degrees is the correct answer there. What transformation turns a figure around a point? That would be Chadrick.
Rotation.
Rotation is correct. What is the area formula for a circle? That would be James.
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared is correct. Risk and reward time. The topic is geometry. Elmwood, what do you say?
Let's risk 10.
10 points. Add the complement of a 45-degree angle to the supplement of a 3-degree angle and state your result. Time. 222 degrees is what we needed there. Negative 10 points for you, and that ends the risk and reward round for you. Let's see where we stand. We have Evergreen at 75 and Elmwood at 120 points. They are very, very close, and things are just warming up here at BGSU Brain Game. Stick around. Category round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Evergreen 75, Elmwood at 120 points. Still very much anybody's game. Before we get to our next round, though, let's welcome some new and returning players. For Elmwood in slot number 1, let's welcome back Madeline. In slot number 2, let's welcome to the board for the first time Paxton, a freshman. And for Evergreen in slot number 1, it is Aiden, also a freshman. This is the category round. Power shifting now a little bit to you, our players. There are 6 categories that you can choose from. Inside each of those categories are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But shields up, red alert, because deductions do start now. If you select 20 points, you're actually also risking 20 points. There is a double or nothing question hiding somewhere in there. Double the points, no risk. And you may confer before buzzing in. And last but not least, you may steal a question in this round. All right, 75 points for Evergreen. That means you get to make the first selection.
We'll take board games for 15 points.
Board games for 15 points. Which game created in the 1930s involves asking who, what, where? That would be Elmwood. Gavin.
Guess who?
Incorrect. Questions to deduct the culprit, weapon, and location. That would be Aiden.
Clue.
Clue is correct. Evergreen still in control.
Board games for 20.
Board games for 20 points. Which word-based game challenges players to create words on a board? That would be Evergreen. Ethan.
Scrabble.
Scrabble is correct. Evergreen in control and in the lead.
Board games for 25.
Board games for 25. Which board game, first released in 1965 and famous for its Pop-O-Matic die roller, has players racing 4 pieces around a track? That would be Elmwood, Madeline.
Sorry.
Incorrect. While trying to send opponents' pieces back to start. Evergreen, chance to steal. That would be Aiden.
Trouble.
Trouble is what we needed there, yes. Evergreen in control.
Brands for 10.
Brands for 10 points. Which soft drink brand is known for its polar bear mascot? That would be Evergreen. Aiden.
Coke.
Coke is correct. That would be Evergreen still in control.
There Be Dragons for 10.
There Be Dragons for 10. I will give you a clue about a famous dragon from a book or movie. You provide the answer. In How to Train Your Dragon, what that would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Toothless.
Toothless is correct. Is Hiccup's dragon companion. All right, Evergreen still in control.
Musicals for 10.
Musicals for 10 points. I will give you a clue about a musical. You provide the answer. Which popular musical features the songs Defying Gravity? And that would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Wicked.
Wicked is correct. Evergreen still in control, making a move.
We'll do board games for 10.
Board games now for 10 points. In which game do players buy, sell? That would be Elmwood. Paxton.
Monopoly.
Monopoly is correct. And Elmwood snatches back control.
Board games for 30.
Board games now for 30 points. Which strategy board game features hexagonal tiles, resources like wheat and ore, and that would be Elmwood. Gavin.
Catan.
Catan is correct.
Ancient history for 15.
Ancient history for 15 points. Identify each of the following related to ancient history. Which Phoenician city-state was famous for its purple dye and maritime trade? Tyre is what we needed there. Elmwood in control.
Ancient history for 20.
Ancient history for 20 points. Who was the first emperor of Rome? That will be Elmwood. Gavin.
Augustus Caesar.
Augustus is correct. In control is Elmwood.
Ancient history for 25.
Ancient history for 25. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, this vast feat of engineering and horticulture is said to have been built in Babylon. That would be Evergreen. Ethan.
The Hanging Gardens.
Yes. In control is Evergreen.
We'll do brands for 15.
Brands for 15 points. Which company produces the soft drink Mountain Dew? That would be Evergreen. Ethan.
Pepsi.
Correct. Evergreen in control.
Musicals for 15.
Musicals for 15 points. What musical is set in the French Revolution and includes, that would be Elmwood. Madeline.
Les Mis.
Les Mis is correct. In control now is Elmwood. Back and forth we go.
Musicals for 20.
Musicals now for 20 points. In The Sound of Music, what is the name of the singing family? That would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Von Trapp.
Correct. Evergreen now in control.
Brands for 20.
Brands for 20 points. Which company created the Barbie doll in 19? That would be Evergreen. Ethan.
Mattel.
Mattel is correct.
There Be Dragons for 15.
There Be Dragons for 15 points. This is Double or Nothing. In The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, what is the name of the dragon? That would be Elmwood. Madeline.
Smog.
Smog is correct. In control now is Elmwood. Double the points.
Musicals for 25.
Musicals for 25. In this musical by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, the conflict between the cowboys and the farmers is central to the action. That would be Elmwood. Madeline.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is correct. Elmwood in control.
Musicals for 30.
Musicals now for 30 points. In Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey's 1971 musical Grease, which fictional high school serves as the setting for the storylines of the working class youth known as greasers? Time. Rydell High is what we needed there. Elmwood in control.
Ancient history for 30.
Ancient history now for 30 points. Which ancient Indian text is considered one of the earliest works of literature and discusses duties and ethics on a battlefield? Time. Bhagavad Gita is what we needed there. In control is Elmwood.
Ancient history for 10.
Ancient history now for 10 points. Which ancient civilization used cuneiform as its writing system? Cuneiform, excuse me. That'd be Evergreen. Ethan.
Babylon.
Incorrect. Elmwood, chance to steal. That would be Gavin.
Samaria.
Correct. In control. Elmwood, end of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Evergreen at 235 points and Elmwood with 220 points. Still very much anybody's game. Stick around. It all comes down to the brainstorm round. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Elmwood 220, Evergreen 235. Before we move to our final round, let's welcome back some players. For Elmwood, in slot number 2, we have Chadrick, and for Evergreen, in slot number 1, it is John. So welcome back to you and all of our returning players from the previous round. This is the brainstorm round. In this round, all questions are worth 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but no stealing. I repeat, no stealing in this round. Elmwood, Evergreen, brainstorm round starts right now. Which type of sugar is found naturally in milk? That would be Elmwood. Gavin.
Lactose.
Correct. What is the capital city of India? That would be Evergreen. Ethan.
New Delhi.
Correct. Which of King Lear's 3 daughters remained faithful to him? Cordelia. What did you graduate from if you have an alma mater? That would be Elmwood. Chadrick.
College.
Correct. What part of speech does because represent? Time. Conjunction. What state shares Louisiana's longest eastern border? Elmwood. Chadrick.
Mississippi.
Correct. If you are eating escargot, what are you eating? That would be Evergreen. John.
Snail.
Correct. What brand of potato chips comes in a tube? That would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Pringles.
Correct. What musical instrument did Ludwig van Beethoven primarily? That would be Elmwood. Chadrick.
Piano.
Piano is correct. The Thin Red Line by James Jones is set in which war? World War II. What is the 2-word French-originated phrase saying goodbye on a seagoing vessel? Elmwood. Madeline.
Au revoir.
Incorrect. Bon voyage. What is the most spoken language in the world? But that would be Elmwood. Chadrick.
Mandarin.
Mandarin is correct. What chemical compound gives chili peppers their, that would be Evergreen. Ethan.
Capsaicin.
Correct. Which planet has the highest average surface temperature in, that would be Elmwood. Chadrick.
Venus.
Correct. Which 1944 film features the quote, "Life is like a box of chocolates"? That would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Forrest Gump.
Correct. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the world tree that would be Evergreen? Ethan.
Yggdrasil.
Correct. Who won the first season of American Idol? That would be Evergreen. Sophia.
Kelly Clarkson.
Correct. What is the most abundant gas in Earth's atmosphere? Time. Nitrogen. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Elmwood 320, and our winner with 375 is Evergreen. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. Now, in the spirit of good sportsmanship, we're going to come out, meet in the middle, shake some hands, bump some fists, and we're going to see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.